Hi buddies, welcome to my channel What the Food. Today in our channel we are going to see how to make this delicious paneer and vegetable fried rice. It's a very simple dish and let's get started and see how to make it. Let's first cook our rice. For this, take a pan that is sufficient to cook 1 cup of rice and add 3 cups of water to it and bring it to boil. Once the water is boiling, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt. And I have my basmati rice which is soaked for about 20 minutes, and now I'm gonna add this soaked rice to the water. So the water ratio for cooking your rice is like for 1 cup rice you need to have 3 cups of boiling water, and once your water is in boiling state you can add your soaked rice. The rice is cooked now, so it took almost 5 minutes for me to get this rice cooked to 100% in my induction stove, but it's gonna be much faster if you use gas stove. So just look for your rice and you'll see like it's cooked 100%. So once it's done, yeah, you can switch off your stove. And to stop my rice from getting cooked any further, I'm gonna add some cold water to this immediately. And yeah, the rice is done now. I'm gonna filter out the water and we'll keep this ready for next step. So the next step is to make our fried rice, and I'm gonna fry some of the veggies. As I already mentioned, this is gonna be your paneer or the cottage cheese fried rice, and there is no standard ingredients that you need to use. Like you can use anything that you wanted to use. Today I'm gonna add some vegetables that was available with me and along with some of the cottage cheese. So let's get started. I'm going to add on a hot pan. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Like you feel free to use any oil that you have. So today I'm using some vegetable oil. Oil is hot now. I'm going to add the ingredients. First, I'm gonna add some minced garlic. I use 3 garlic cloves. Along with that, I'm going to add some ginger. I just cut them into juliennes and just fry it for a second. Make sure not to burn this because maybe personally I don't like when the garlic is burnt, and they get cooked really fast as they are like really minced. So once it's done, I'm gonna start adding up ingredients. I'm going to add some off chopped onion to this. Okay, stir fry your onion for maybe a minute or so, or until your onion is off cooked. I'm going to add some salt, which is gonna fasten the cooking process of your onion. So I just added a pinch of salt because I'm going to add some soy sauce to this dish, so I don't want it to be too salty. So I've just added just a pinch of salt to this onion, and I'm gonna cook it for another 1 to 2 minutes at the maximum. Onion is cooked 50%. This should be sufficient to add our next ingredients. I already started to get a delicious smell from this cooked onion along with some julienne ginger and the crushed garlic. So the next vegetable that I'm gonna add is beans. Again, it's all optional. It's up to you. Like you can use anything you wanted to use, any vegetable of your choice. Since beans is gonna take a little longer time to cook, so I'm going to add beans as my next ingredient. And maybe you can leave it. I'm gonna leave it for another 2 minutes for this beans to get cooked along with the onion, and once it is done, we'll go to the next. Beans is cooked maybe 60-70 percentage. It was on the stove for the past 2 minutes. I'm gonna add my next ingredient, and today I'm going to add a handful of mushrooms, cut mushrooms. So this is from 2 mushrooms basically. I just cut them into slices, and I'm gonna cook it for maybe another 1 to 2 minutes. So make sure like when you cook your mushroom, it might loosen out some water. So for fried rice we want it to be really dry, so don't put your lid on, so that the extra moisture is going to be evaporated, and that will be the best to make your fried rice. So let's cook this mushroom for, as I said, maybe for another 2 minutes or until your mushroom and other vegetables are cooked, and we'll add the next vegetable then. I can see that the mushroom is cooked now, and I started getting that awesome delicious earthy flavor from this cooked mushroom. So the next ingredient that I'm gonna add is, like, I got some cut cabbages which I cut into thin slices like this. I love cabbage in my fried rice, so I'm gonna cook this cabbage in this vegetable mixture that I got. And let's get this, this cabbage won't take much long time to get cooked, so let's cook it maybe for another 2 minutes or until your cabbage is cooked. I can see that the cabbage is cooked now, and we are ready to add our next ingredient. So one thing to note is, like, I have added the ingredients in an order. Like, the one that is going to take much time to get cooked has gone into the pan first, and whichever ingredients is going to take very less time to get cooked are going later. So the next ingredient that I'm going to use is the main ingredient for my recipe, because it's called as paneer fried rice or the cottage cheese. I'm going to add 50 grams of small diced paneer to this. And there is no standard requirement that it should be smaller. If you want, you can even add paneer, you can cut your paneer to little larger size as well, but I like it this way. Forgot to add some fresh peas that I've got, some green peas. This can go along with your paneer because these two get cooked at the same time, so these two can go together. Again, it's just some 20-30 piece, that's enough. I don't want to overdo my rice with a lot of veggies and less rice, so this should be sufficient. Now to this, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce. This is gonna give an awesome aroma as well as flavor to your fried rice. And this is the reason I have added very less salt, because soy sauce is gonna enhance your salt taste to your food. So I haven't added much salt because of this. And if you want, like, it's up to you, like, as per your requirement. If you want, you can taste and add more salt if required as well. So I'm gonna give a quick stir to this and going to leave it cook for another 30 seconds. That should be fine. Okay, the soy sauce got cooked for some 30 seconds. Now I'm going to add some capsicum, some baby capsicums, tricolor baby capsicums, which I'm adding. The reason why I'm adding capsicum at the end is, like, this is a veg that gets cooked really fast, and I don't want it to be mushy when I'm eating. So I'm just going to add this capsicum just before we are going to add our rice to this mix. So the capsicum is in now. Just before I'm gonna add my rice, I'm going to add some spring onion to this. Again, if you don't have spring onion, feel free to ignore it, that's fine. So a little bit of spring onion and mix it well. I have some freshly crushed white pepper, so I'm going to add maybe 1 tablespoon of crushed white pepper. So this is the only spice we are gonna add, so be generous if you're okay with spicy food, or else you can just reduce it as per your taste. So once the pepper powder is added, I'm gonna add the last ingredient, which is rice. So look at the rice. So this is how your rice should be for your fried rice. It should not stick with each other. It should be fluffy and separate. So I'm gonna add this the awesome rice to our food, or to our vegetable mix. And let's give a quick stir, and our rice is ready. I just set the stove to the maximum, because when the rice is here, when you're adding a rice, it's good to have your heat to be to the highest, so that the cooking process will be faster, and the vegetable mix is gonna mix well with your rice basically. I just tasted it and I found, like, the salt is little less for me. So I'm going to add another half teaspoon of salt. Again, this is as per your taste and your requirement. If you need it, you can add it at the end, or else whatever quantity that we have added before should be sufficient. So it depends. It's based on individual preference and the taste. So I'm gonna give a quick mix, and our rice is almost ready. Keep it on the stove for maybe another 1 minute on high flame. That should be sufficient. Our delicious paneer or cottage cheese fried rice is ready, and I'm gonna sprinkle some white pepper powder on top of it. Again, it's optional. You can see the rice grains separate from each other, and you can feel the taste when you cook and eat it. I'm going to make a quick bonus dish. I'm gonna fry some paneer to have it along with my paneer fried rice. For that, I'm going to heat a pan with some oil in it, maybe 1 tablespoon of oil, and I'm gonna add a pinch of salt to this. And I want it to be a little spicy, so I'm going to add 1 tablespoon full of medium spice red chili powder. But again, it's optional. Like you can just have it with salt and pepper, or maybe you can add little less quantity of your chili powder based on your taste. Just add oil, the chili powder to this hot oil, but don't let it stay for long, as your chili powder will burn. So just give a quick mix. And I have got some cut paneer or the cottage cheese, 50 grams of this. So I'm going to add it to my chili salt mixture. I'm going to fry it maybe 1 to 1.5 minutes each side. That should be sufficient to cook your paneer or the cottage cheese. Turn it so that both the sides are gonna get the coating evenly. And as I said, just cook 1 to 1.5 minutes each side on high flame. That's fine. Just do a gentle stir so that the paneer will not get stuck at the bottom and it won't burn as well. The other side is cooked for almost 1.5 minutes. So I'm going to turn them all to cook the opposite side. So get this side cooked for another 1 to 1.5 minutes, and your chili paneer is ready. I'm not sure if I can call this as a chili paneer, but obviously that's the only ingredient I have added to this: chili and salt, chili powder and salt. So let me call this as chili paneer. I've added some leftover spring onion from my fried rice to this chili paneer, and our paneer is ready. Like, it's cooked 1.5 minutes each side, and that should be sufficient.